Greetings. Now that Pluto is in Aquarius as of Tuesday last week, so that was November 19th, we have this new vibe. It's not new to us because we've had Pluto in Aquarius in 2023 and 2024, but what's new is that Pluto is in Aquarius and will not be returning to Capricorn for another 230 years. So we've got that energy now of really the very beginning of entering into this new era of Pluto in Aquarius. We also have Mercury going retrograde in Sagittarius on Monday. So I'm Marina Orms here with your astro perspectives for Sunday, November 24th. And we are looking at how this Mercury retrograde will impact the new vibe of Pluto in Aquarius. Mercury will be going retrograde in Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is the sign of beliefs, belief systems, paradigms, where we get our ideas about the world, about reality, and how we understand. It's our way of orienting ourselves within a system that makes sense in terms of what we believe and how we see the world and how it works. So really our it's faith, but it's also whatever beliefs we have. So whatever constructs or ways of organizing our thinking about the world. And so Sagittarius is essentially how we tell the story of who we are, what we're experiencing, what's happening in the world. And remember, we always have a choice in how we tell that story, right? We can tell it from the perspective of the glass half empty or the glass half full. With the energy of Pluto in Aquarius, we are really looking at getting beyond the glass entirely. So Pluto is the planet of power, truth, transformation, accessing a deeper truth, needing to sort of remake ourselves, enter into a death and rebirth process. In Aquarius, we have it in this higher consciousness, outside the box thinking, and really the place where new ideas come from. So if you ever think about a time when you were either feeling stuck or didn't know how to do something or how to solve a problem, and then one day you're in the shower or you're driving down the road, and all of a sudden into your mind pops the answer, right? Or a way of seeing it that you hadn't thought of before. Or maybe you have a conversation with someone who introduces an idea or a way of thinking that had not occurred to you before. Maybe you read something, maybe you see a movie. I don't know, but something is opening your perspective, to remember that there are ideas, solutions, innovations, new ways of thinking that lie outside of your current beliefs, not just your beliefs, but your way of thinking about something. So, there's that old quote that is probably not really attributed, or sometimes gets attributed to Einstein, but probably is, I'm not sure, nobody knows exactly where it came from, which is that you cannot solve the problems you face from the consciousness in which the problems were created. So what do you have to do to solve a problem that's hard, right? Not your everyday easy ordinary problems, but your problems that really challenge you. You have to see things from a different perspective. You have to be open, right? Open-minded for those new ideas, new thinking to have a place to come into your mind. So one day you're in the shower, you're driving down the road, you're going for a walk, something, and all of a sudden, pop, in pops what we might call an epiphany, an insight, a new idea that you haven't had before, right? A new way of seeing it, and you see the way forward, or maybe you saw it before, but now it's more clear. At any rate, that is the energy of Aquarius. Aquarius reminds us that solutions lie outside of our current thinking. We have to remember to open the door, to open our minds to those new possibilities, because when we recycle old thinking, old beliefs, old habits and patterns, because we know what to expect, and they're comfortable, right? If we go seeking the same thinking that we've had before because it makes us feel comfortable, we're not opening to those new solutions, new ways of thinking, outside perspectives that are going to introduce solutions. So the Aquarius energy, Pluto in Aquarius, is all about transforming at deeper levels so that we can remember that we need to open our minds to see things from bigger picture perspectives, to access the new thinking, the new ideas, the clarity that we don't have already. That is the nature of Aquarius. That's why it has to do with the future, because it's about innovations, problem solving, getting outside the box, right? All the things that remind us that there are ways of solving problems, ways of thinking about things, ways of understanding that lie outside of our current thinking. So we've got that Pluto in Aquarius for the next 19 years until 2043 and 44. We're going to, so 19 to 20, it goes in and out again a little bit like it did for us in 2023 and 24. So till 2043, 44, we're going to have Pluto in Aquarius. So we've got 19, 20 years to work on ourselves in the ways that we must to access new thinking, new constructs, new solutions, innovations. And we can and probably will confront some of the dark side of Aquarius, which is isolation, alienation, detachment, the dark side of artificial intelligence, virtual reality, and not just that, but the way that things like social media, where we have our human connections have gone online, right? They've gone onto this global internet, this global nervous system, where we sort of lose that ordinary human face to face, heart to heart, eye contact way of connecting. And so a lot of what's going to be our way forward through this Pluto in Aquarius time is remembering to touch base with what is real, and not let ourselves go into the dark side of isolation, alienation, and detachment from reality. So remember what's real, get your hands on things, do things that make sense, talk to people, get together, form communities where you can be together face to face with one another in that messiness of human relationships, where things are sometimes hard, sometimes awkward, sometimes messy, and very, very necessary for us to remember our humanness, and that I'm human, you're human, the next person is human, we're all human. So no matter what we think, we have this shared experience of being human, of bumbling through life, trying to figure things out and be hopefully the best we can be. So thinking in terms of what do we need to do to remember the power of being human and reclaim and center ourselves within who we really are and being that Aquarian, um, tapping into our freedom, our individuality, um, doing what you're here to do, being your weird, unique, quirky self. And that is going to be your superpower with Pluto in Aquarius. So be who you are, do things that are outside the box. Not all of them are going to work, but it's in that process of experimenting that we figure out, oh, here is a solution that actually makes sense and is going to work long term. So we got to try all the things, right? Experimenting with that Aquarian mind of a scientist. Okay, and so Mercury going retrograde in Sagittarius, where it is opposing Jupiter. So right now, Jupiter is at 18 degrees Gemini. Mercury is at 22 degrees Sagittarius. Let's see. So yeah, so it goes retrograde on Monday, November 25th at 22 degrees Sagittarius. I'm seeing 6:42 p.m. Pacific time is the exact moment, but we'll feel that Mercury station in the hours before and after it has that moment of technically changing direction. So Mercury is going to go retrograde in Sagittarius. It's going to again oppose Jupiter in Gemini. So that we've already had the first pass of that Mercury Jupiter opposition. Really interesting in terms of some of the themes we are seeing in the world about information, the information space, who is sharing information, where you're getting your information, who is shaping your beliefs, where do those beliefs come from, really having an opportunity to look at our Mercury communication, where we're getting information, where we're getting news from, and really questioning where some of the information is coming from, how it's being shared, who's sharing it, what's a fact, what's not a fact, what is being manipulated, or how might we be being given information that could have a purpose, right? To get us to behave a certain way. Like an obvious example would be advertising, right? There's some information that's coming your way that you have to be critical. You have to have a critical mind to go, wait, this information is there because they want me to buy something. And so I need to think carefully about what they're saying and take it with that grain of salt, where I understand that what's happening is they want me to pay money for something. So same idea with some of the places where we're getting news and having to ask ourselves those deeper questions. Wait a minute, where's this information coming from? Who is behind it? What is their purpose? What are they trying to achieve? So asking all those questions, being really conscious and aware. And I would say that with Pluto and Aquarius, we have now this shift in energy where we are stepping into new paradigms. And so as we step into new paradigms, things feel really different. And suddenly there's this feeling of I need to take a step back, right? I need to take a step back, really think about what I'm doing, where my information is coming from, what I'm participating in, whether I realize it or not. and really sort of reevaluating. And we're going to be doing more of this with Mercury going retrograde. So rethinking, reevaluating, asking ourselves, how did we get here? What are the things we need to be aware of and realize about what's going on and how we might be participating inadvertently, right? Maybe we are being gaslit in some areas, in some ways and places, really just really asking ourselves who we are. Remember, bringing it back to this humanness, this experience of what it means to be human, getting real, getting tangible, talking face to face, letting our relationships be messy and complicated, finding ways that we connect with people, even people we disagree with, and rebuilding these human relationships that are going to build strong communities that are going to be capable of collectively innovating, right? Thinking of new ways forward, how to manage the energy, how to think about the problems in the world and find solutions that will actually work long term. Again, there might be some experimenting going on. So some things might work, some things might not work long term, but as we try, we learn more about what we need to know, what we're learning, and how to get to some of that higher level thinking and new ideas that really lie outside of the box of where we've been in the past. So as Pluto in Aquarius shifts our focus to the future, remember there's a lot that we're being asked to step into that does not feel familiar. And in that feeling of the Aquarius is the sign of lightning bolts and earthquakes. So there's a feeling of instability, of where's the ground? Who am I? Where do I belong? What do I think? All of those kinds of things. And so as we think about, this is really asking us to change. And we can think of this change in positive ways. This change can be an opportunity, again, to open those doors, those minds to the new thinking that will help us find the way forward by working together in our communities and sharing ideas in ways that get to a deeper truth where we feel more of that real human connection. So with this Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius, there's a review, there's a reflection, there is a rethinking of our beliefs, our story. Where does it come from? Who who benefits from us thinking that? Right? So with Mercury going retrograde in Sagittarius in particular, we're going to have Mercury retrograde is always a review. It's always an opportunity to go within, to reflect, to rethink, reconsider, all the words. And in Sagittarius in particular, we are looking at and thinking about the story, the narrative, the beliefs, the paradigm, and really even rethinking what feels real, right? What is reality, and where have I been maybe living in either a fantasy land or a land of reality where it could either be fear-based, it could be fantasy-based, right? But it's not grounded in reality. So get real, get tangible. Remember what is important to you, and you can share those ideas with others and say, this is what's important to me and this is why. And like, get real about it. Don't be in a some version of reality where I'm better than you and I know more than you and that type of thing, but just like really getting into who you are, what you think, why you think that, and maybe reconsidering some of what you think and what you believe. And that will really serve all of us, because we are all human, we are all in this world, and susceptible to some of the same things. So we need to recognize what we have to learn, in addition to, how we are growing. And Mercury in Sagittarius is about growing, expanding, learning, especially with our minds, and expanding and growing in terms of our thinking, and how we can focus on the growth we need to do to become who we need to be the shepherds, I guess, ushering in a world that works better for all beings. So keep flexing your hope muscle, and working toward what's important for you. And I will continue to share with you. I am looking at ways I can do a little bit more community building. Don't have any answers on that just yet, but we'll have some sort of option here coming up in the hopefully near future to come together in groups where we can really interact more and talk one-to-one, and see and hear and listen to each other, and have those opportunities to build community. So stay tuned. Hope to have more information on that soon. Thanks so much for being here. I'm Marina Orms, and you can learn more about me and how to work with me. Get a reading of your chart to understand how these energies are playing out for you personally, what you're being called to step into in terms of how to help make the world a better place. And you can learn more at astrologyheals.com. Thank you for being here and for subscribing to this YouTube channel. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time with more astrology for unshakable self-care. Bye for now.